a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I concentrated on the image in the oil. I zoomed in on a photograph of Zia riding on her father's shoulders. She was young in the photo, but you could tell she was going to be beautiful when she grew up. Her glossy black hair was cut in a short wedge, as it had been when I knew her. Her eyes were brilliant amber. The photographer had caught her mid-laugh, trying to cover her dad's eyes with her hands. Her smile radiated playful mischief. "I will destroy the girl you seek," the three-headed snake had said, "just as I destroyed her village." I was sure he meant Zia's village, but what did that attack 6 years ago have to do with Apophis' rising now? If it hadn't been just a random accident, if Apophis had meant to destroy Zia's home, then why?
Welcome to The Oldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's roles as godly parents.
I'm Raye, following the path of Geb.
And I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast. We are back. We are here. And, oh god, what was this chapter? A birdbath almost kills me. Yeah. Relatable content, honestly.
That's how it goes. How do we feel about that? It catches on fire, and it is an oil fire, which isn't ideal.
I have questions about why that happens.
Yeah, that is weird.
Because I do always forget about that until that happens. And then once it's over, I forget that it happened. I'm just like...
Because why would it happen? Yeah.
Why? Like, I mean, we already knew that something shady was happening with Sadie. Shady with Sadie. But, like, that's excessive.
Yeah, who be catching shit on fire? Like, if it had regular magical protections, it should just be that he wouldn't be able to see it. But no, we're retaliating.
I don't know. We're gonna have to overanalyze this next chapter when we actually find out what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I have literally no idea, so that's great.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have thoughts about that.
Good,
because you'll remember that happened, right? Okay? Raye, put that in your brain. Remember that it blew up.
Yeah. I'm taking a note in my mind palace that I super do not have.
Oh my goodness, you don't have a mind palace?
I don't. I have aphantasia. I can't see
That's
shit
right.
in my brain.
We talked about this.
Yeah, so
I remember.
So the idea of a mind palace is like nonsense to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a mind palace either. I just think it's an interesting concept.
It is.
But I do remember talking to you at length about how you don't see things in your brain, and I was just like, what? How? Because that's just so alien to me, who is constantly daydreaming.
And see, I do daydream, but apparently it is quite different. Like people describe reading books as being like watching a movie in their brain, and I'm like, what the fuck? No. That's not what happens.
I can get so lost in a daydream that I don't know what I'm actually like looking at in the real world. Like, so I just
yeah, you can
so
just hallucinate at will, huh? Fucking
yeah.
wild.
Yeah, I
cannot imagine such things. Okay.
Anyway, so a birdbath almost kills me. Is this also an accurate title for the chapter? How do we feel about that?
I don't know how much danger there actually was from the on-fire birdbath, is what I was trying to get at earlier.
Well,
they do knock it off the balcony because they do seem to find it quite threatening, so maybe he felt threatened. So I guess he's valid.
If something blows up in your face, there's a chance that could kill you. So, like, I was just thinking, like...
They tell you not to use, like, kerosene when you're starting a campfire, you know? Don't do that shit.
I was also thinking, like, is birdbath accurate? Like, is the rest of this episode?
It's technically not a birdbath, but it is a bowl of liquid outside, and I'm like, yeah, that's a cheeky little... I find it valid, personally.
All right. I love it. I forgot that's what the chapter was called, because I don't think it's ever called that in the said chapter. But now I have thoughts. Anyway, tell me what happened in the chapter.
Okay, this is another conversation-heavy chapter, so...
Just a bit.
Yeah, not much here. Amos tells Carter that he's doing fine and great, even though everything seems pretty bad. Carter, he goes and mopes on his balcony, and he tries to cry for Zia. No luck on that. He's having a rough time. Walt comes by, and he changes the tab to his grandparents' house really fast so that Walt won't see what he's looking at. They discuss the Apophis problem a little bit, and also they avoid talking about Walt's lore, whatever that may be. Then Carter realizes that things are not going so good for Sadie at his grandparents' house. And then, yeah, as we were saying, the Birdbath catches on fire, and they decide that they need to go and rush to her rescue.
Of course. Sadie's just waiting for the men to rescue her.
She got fucking damseled. Can you believe this shit?
We'll see. We'll find out what happens. But, you know, I can't imagine Sadie just waiting around for Carter and Walt to rescue her.
No.
Come on. This is our girl. Our leather jacket, leather boots wearing girl. We stan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, guess what?
Hmm?
I got a thing.
Yay!
I got a thing for us. So, in case you missed it, let's talk about scrying, because that was not made up by Rick, if you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was his original concept, do not steal.
No, it's very much not. It's Rick doesn't make up that many things. Like, his original concept, do not steal, is Zoe Nightshade, and the, like, 2 Egyptian terms that we've come across in this book that I couldn't Google. So
I also looked for that, and I couldn't find anything. But it feels like he has to have gotten it from somewhere. I want to know his reasoning so badly.
I assume that he, like, did some kind of translation thing.
Yeah.
And found, like, came across these words somehow, or made them up. I don't know. Okay, so scrying. Scrying is also called like seeing and peeping.
Peeping,
according to this Wikipedia.
Fascinating.
It's actually a form of divination. So, like, telling the future and such. It's related to prophecy in a way, like visions and such. But I mean, the way that they use it in the book, like, oh, it's also a way to just kind of, like, see other things, is also, like, it also makes sense. Like, that's definitely a valid form of scrying. It's just not, like, the main form people usually think of. Usually people think of, like, crystal balls, like, literally crystallomacy, spheromacy. What the fuck is this one? Catoptromacy, which is mirrors.
Oh, that is not one I was familiar with, but I like it. Mirrors feel very right for scrying in.
Oh, it definitely comes up later. There's definitely something about mirrors. I mean, all of these are, like, reflective surfaces, which I think especially makes sense, because what you're doing is you are kind of reflecting, in a way, right? Well, some of these, okay, it says reflective, refractive, or luminescent. And, like, I think all of those are especially make sense. So, like, crystals, mirrors, water, fire, and smoke.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen all of those.
Also, apparently there's eyelid scrying. You can just close your eyes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's... I usually think of that not as, like, eyelid scrying, but as, like, you know, removing vision from the equation and using your internal...
your other senses.
Magical vision, or whatever. But I guess if this is the way we're talking about it, you know... it kind of makes sense.
Like, my brain is going to when Aang, like, closes his eyes and, like, connects with the swamp and, you know, and sees where things are far away. Also, this is mentioning that you can do scrying with a smartphone. I have questions about that.
It's reflective. I mean, why not?
I just want to know, like, what happens if, like, is there a certain type of scrying that involves a smartphone, like, being used and turned on? Like, I feel like there's a modern thing here that could exist.
Okay, hot take.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
The scrying is the process of seeing something and gaining information that you could not normally gain with, like, your regular faculties. So what you are doing is you either, you know,
you're Googling.
Looking into the future, you are looking at something that you cannot see directly in front of you. Using a smartphone, using the internet is scrying.
You're Googling. Yeah, I mean, sure.
I love how much you hate that.
I do. I really hate it, but I also, like, fully understand.
Like, you can't really argue against it, can you?
No, I
That's
can't,
the rough
'cause
thing.
Listen, this is like when I like to make people uncomfortable by saying all the people at Disney who wear ears are in fact furries, by definition. So,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, exactly. I was thinking more like, have you seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No, I never watched it.
Bro.
I know.
I've already looked on the show enough times. Why haven't you yet? It's definitely streaming. You should watch it together. That'd be fun. We do need to hang out more. We've already mentioned this. We need to hang out more. And I've been dying to watch it lately. But in like the first couple seasons, there's a character who is she doesn't call herself a witch, she calls herself a techno-pagan, because they were trying to be really cool, even though this was the 90s, and it's like, you have the shittiest computers.
Yeah.
How much technology magic are you doing in this day and age? But, like, thinking about that and smartphones and, like, how, you know, that could work, I don't know. There's something there, but my brain's not quite grasping what it could be. Anyway, yeah, scrying. So much of this seems to be, like, the same, like, few sentences, I feel like.
Yeah, sometimes you do get that where it's just, like, very repetitive.
Yeah, it feels a lot of repetitive. It's just like, yeah, you're seeing visions, okay, you're observing things, cool. There are a few different types of things here that I think are interesting how it's related to scrying specifically, because I wouldn't have thought, like, this saying, neuromancy is related to it, which is dream interpretation. Okay, so that's saying it's different. Never mind. Is it saying it's different from that? So I was like, what? How is this the same thing? I mean, I guess you're still seeing it with your eyeballs.
Yeah.
But no. Okay, so dream stuff is different. I don't know how different, but I guess it is.
So I'm looking at, like, the folklore and, like, the religion and stuff, and they have some, like, really, really specific examples. You know, they're like, this cup in Egypt in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, you know, when they put it in Benjamin's sack. If you know the story, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's not important. But they're like, they mention once that they use this cup for scrying, for divination, and it's like, that is so small and specific. But, like, it's also, like, very prolific. It seems like this sort of thing shows up everywhere. I think that it's just the kind of thing that makes sense to humans. Like, we don't feel the need to explain it, because it's like, yeah, of course you can look in a mirror and see something with magic. Like, that's just how it works.
I just realized that there's the next reference is something that I know, because it's from the Shahnameh. It's the Cup of Jamshid. Am I pronouncing any of this right? I don't know, but it's Persian folklore, and, like, this is the cup that kind of ends up turning a guy a little bit evil.
Oh.
Yeah. From what I remember, that's what it does. But they kind of, like, they observe all the layers of the universe within this cup.
Oh.
But also it contains the elixir of immortality. Unrelated. But this is just a fucking, like, a cup that does some shit.
That's really funny. If the cup does shit, and also they put the elixir in there, and they're, like, scrying with the elixir of immortality, but not because it's the elixir of immortality. Like, it could just be water, but they're like, well, where else are we gonna keep it?
Let me see. It feels like it's, like, maybe the cup itself is magic. Maybe it's, like, both is, I don't know. There's something going on there. Either way, this cup did some bad shit to a guy. From what I remember, there's something about the Latter-day Saints here. I know that exists.
Mormons.
Okay, cool. I was like, what does that mean again? There we go. That's why I'm not understanding. It's the terminology. I don't know enough about Mormonism. Hey, this has seeing stones. Those are also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or seer stones? I don't know if that's different.
I had forgotten about his glasses that let him transcribe the plates. Oh, right. Boy.
I'm not gonna get into Mormonism. I can't.
Mormonism, I learned too much about it without being involved in it, and that was what made me, like, sour on the whole idea of religion, because it sounded so fake.
Oh, you.
And I was like, does every religion sound like this? Oh my god. Like if you don't grow up with it?
Yes, they do. This is absolutely correct. I've explained like some Christianity things to my friend who grew up just like non-religious in general, and they're like, the fuck?
The funniest thing is when you bring a really non-religious friend to church, like as a child, and like everyone is like chanting the same words together, and they're like, what the fuck?
Don't do that to a poor person. Don't do that. They don't need it.
It was part of sleepovers. If your friend sleeps over at your house on a Saturday, then they have to go to church in the morning on Sunday.
Then don't sleep over on Saturday. That's the answer. Always Friday, never Saturday, Friday. Guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are really losing the plot here.
There is no plot. Anyway, there's some folklore stuff about this is where so you were talking about, you said something about mirrors earlier, and my brain was like, oh, I saw something else on this page that's pretty related to mirrors. Hey, guess what's related to scrying? Bloody Mary.
I love that as a example here. I don't think of that as scrying though. Like that, you know.
Yeah, it shouldn't, but it is like a form of like mirror, like seeing things.
It's interesting.
Okay, technically it because sorry.
I don't think of Bloody Mary as a vision. I thought of it as a summoning, and that is different to me.
But don't you usually ask her like what the face of, this is literally saying, the face of like your future husband looks like, you know?
Interesting.
Like you're asking her
yeah.
to show you something. So it is scrying in that way.
I see. That was not my experience as a child. Our version of Bloody Mary was straight up just a dare. There was no benefit. She just came and killed you.
It's also valid. Yeah, and then this is also mentioning Snow White. Hey, the magic mirror? Yeah, that's scrying.
Love it.
It's pretty much scrying there.
The Snow White example is really interesting because I think of, you know, a scrying medium as something that is inherently neutral, you know? Like, and that's why they are transparent or reflective or whatever, because you are using it just to see something elsewhere. The magic mirror from Snow White is like not neutral. Like, I don't know. It does.
It is and it isn't. I feel like there's different interpretations of the story of like, oh, maybe the mirror was trying to get away from her, or like the mirror was like malevolent obviously because it came from her, so therefore it's also evil. Like, you know, there's like the mirror could be good or evil.
Is inherently, you know, neutral and truthful. It still is saying like, no, I was gonna be like, it says like, I'm sorry, my queen, but that's not in the text here. It's just like, you're the fairest of all. And then when she's not, it's just like, you are extremely fair, but she's fairer than you. And like, no caveats, never mind.
It's an interpretation thing. I think the direct text of the like original quote unquote is just that it's neutral.
Okay.
Shout out to the book series I read as a child where they made the magic mirror actually evil.
It's a very interesting potential character because it does have a voice.
And they did that in the Disney Twisted Tale. They also made the mirror evil. She was basically like a warlock in that one, actually. Like, she kind of got her powers in the mirror, but it was also like a contract kind of thing.
Interesting.
It really fucked her up. Okay, I don't understand the other things on here, so I might just move on. Yeah.
Very fascinating that there is a, like, scientific reception section where they're like, yeah, it's not real.
They don't have that for most of the other magical pages.
Right. And I guess it's because, you know, this is still something that people are practicing, like, actively. And that people, you know, if people are like, this section of this wiki page feels defensive. They're like, don't try to say otherwise. There is no scientific support. Some critics consider it to be a pseudoscience, and it's like, oh, you can tell there was some drama here.
Just a little bit. All right, you want to talk about the chapter with the
Yes,
Birdbath?
we should do that.
Where he actually does do the scrying. I do feel like I need to make a reference here because it says Birdbath and he is like doing the scrying, like trying to look at something far away. My brain immediately goes to Return to Halloween Town. specifically. I mean, they do scrying in every single one of those movies with the witch's glass in its many different forms. I fucking love, I love Halloween Town.
Yeah.
One of my favorite series ever. But like the way that literally mom does it to a bird bath in that last movie, and then
iconic.
Marnie like drops the call on her, and then mom is just left screaming at a bird bath. Listen, being a child is like relating to Marnie, and then becoming an adult is realizing that mom didn't do anything wrong. I mean, she did, but also you relate to her so much more.
Yeah, you're like, a lot of very understandable concerns.
I literally love her. She's like probably my favorite character of that series now that I'm an adult. Is just the mom from Halloween Town.
Nice.
All right, a bird bath almost kills me. We finally get that conversation between Carter and Amos with the scarab shell just right there. Yeah, love that.
He's holding it. They're in the library. It's empty right now. Carter is not feeling great about a lot of things, such as Shabti, the fact that his home could be invaded.
Even telling his authority figure about this problem, when this authority figure has gone through so much, he's like, I don't want to give him more things to deal with. Like,
yeah,
Carter, he is the adult in this situation. Like,
that's
I understand.
Rough.
Yeah, but like Carter's kind of trying to be the adult in that like brain space, It's like, oh, I have to protect him from like some of these things. Like, no, buddy, you're still a child. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're all kind of damaged here. It's okay. But yeah, the fact that he's scared of the Shabti just like attacking them now. Oh boy.
My boy traumatized, as we discussed last episode.
As I discuss every time Carter's on screen,
No,
quote unquote. In the book.
I hope he's on screen someday.
We can only hope.
So I think that this conversation is fascinating. I don't know where this is going because I did forget the plot of this book. So they are kind of debating on what exactly this snake means. Amos is pointing out that snakes can be good or bad in Egyptian mythology. He points out the painting of the three-headed winged snake. I think probably the same one that you mentioned last episode.
I did look it up. The one I found was from Ramsey's tomb. This is from Tutmo's tomb. So I think that maybe it's just an image that's in tombs or something. Because it's supposedly from those like few sources I found, it's something from the Duats. So maybe it's related to death and Rob's journey or something or other.
Right.
But I do love the snakes can be good or bad things specifically here. Because it's like there are snake gods that are good that we've like kind of talked about already on the pod. And I'm pretty sure at one point during like Ra's journey through the Duat, there is like a snake that he makes to fight Apophis, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's just so many snakes. Snakes are everywhere.
Makes
it's fucking
sense.
Egypt.
There's a lot of snakes in the desert.
It's fucking Egypt.
So, Amos also points out that a three-headed snake, the number 3, frequently symbolizes the 3 aspects of Ra. And we've already been bringing that up so far in the narrative, and so it's like, what are we getting at here?
Yeah, there's 3 pieces of the book, 3 heads of the snake, I guess. But this could also be just misleading based off of Carter being like, I recognize the voice. Like, I know who it is.
Right.
And it's but the voice of Set's minion. Yeah, face of horror.
I remember that bitch.
I'm imagining Amos's face doing like the anime like darkness thing.
Yeah.
As soon as that's mentioned, it's like, oh no, I remember that guy. He owes me $10. So yeah, Carter's theory is that Face of Horror set the traps at the museum, maybe.
Because he heard the same voice through that bow.
So, maybe. Or not Face of Horror, I should say Apophis. It's all Apophis. Whatever.
Right. Apophis or Apophos' minions. That's Amos's theory. He's saying Apophis can't get to us right now. He is not free. But, he could send a minion to deliver a message. He probably couldn't do much with them because breaking into here would take a lot of energy out of them. So it was probably quite weak when it got here. So, like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Hey, Amos, real suspicious, specifically in this scene. He takes the scarab shell. He seems uncomfortable with the scarab shell. He sets the scarab shell on fire. Carter mentions that his magic has turned from blue to red since he has been possessed. I don't think that there's anything wrong with Amos right now, but he is being kinda suspicious. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Listen. So he has been around for a while, but he also, as Carter mentions, he was like, his body was taken over by Set. Mm-hmm. And as we know from like hosting a god and everything, you retain some memories, you retain traces of their power. I would think even you retain bits of their personality.
Yeah, Carter has even mentioned that, yeah.
You meld with them a little bit, so
our uncle could be a little bit fucked up now. Who knows?
Why do you think he went to therapy?
But he could be fucked up in a different way.
Why do you think he went to therapy? But, like, remember, Set doesn't really want Apophis to rise, does he?
No.
Like, he doesn't want that kind of thing. So even if Amos is, like, taking on some more Set personality traits, he doesn't want the entire world to end like Apophis does. There's a difference.
And I have truly no doubt that Amos loves his niece and nephew. Like, as a person, like, even if he is doing some sus things, it is for a reason. I am certain of that.
Yeah. Carter mentions that, like, oh my goodness, Apophis is, like, so much stronger than we are, and now we're not hosting gods anymore. Fuck. What are we gonna do?
And Amos is like, sorry, but I'm actually not worried about it because you guys are very cool and incredible and I believe in you. And Carter's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. You've battled gods. You've accomplished more than any living magician has. That's
even me, even Michelle.
Such high praise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then this is my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing. Where Carter is like, yeah, that reminds me, hearing Michelle's name, he's the most powerful magician. He's the chief lector. And Vlad the Inhaler is the third most powerful magician. So who's on second? Who's on third? No, what's on second? I don't remember how that joke goes, actually. Don't talk to me.
It's a good skit, though.
Yeah. So who's second? Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he literally says don't worry about that, which I think is very funny because that is what we say on this podcast.
Don't worry about it, Carter. Like, it's not important to your journey right now. And then, okay, the more Amos talks about Michelle on this page, the more I feel validated in shipping them.
Yes.
So this is my new crack ship for this book. But is it really a crack ship? I don't think so.
I need to know, actually. I'm gonna be on AO3 seeing if people are doing this for us.
I feel like it's just me. I think it is just me thinking of the old man yaoi. But, like, specifically, I think probably X's, right?
Yes. But, like, they're, like, reconnecting while he's having his therapy retreat.
They're rekindling a little bit of that romance.
But it's, there's this, separation
strange.
Between them now. It's very compelling.
Yeah. Listen. I need this fanfic. Someone write me some fanfic, please. I will read it on the pod.
We would. If someone did that for us, I would go insane.
I fucking would. Okay? Whenever I say, like, guys, I want this fanfic on my desk on Monday, I want this fan art, like, I would share it. I would share the hell out of it. I want it. I just can't make everything myself, okay?
There are 2 fanfictions on AO3.
Oh my god.
One of them is in French. They're both in French. Woo!
Oh my god! Elliot, we need you to translate.
Incredible.
Can we get Google Translate for the fan fiction? Does that work? Or is that really, really bad? Probably.
It wouldn't. The prose, I think, would suffer.
Oh my god. I love that. I love that it's in French, actually, even
yes.
more.
They are both the same person who, just has galaxy brain.
I assume this is AO3. I almost want you to just, like, send them, like, a comment, like, wish I could read this. This is amazing. I need to get on AO3.
Hell yeah.
I don't use AO3. I'm still fanfic.net.
See, I can't. AO3's tagging system, its sorting, so robust and so good. I can find anything I want, and I try to go to fanfic.net, and I'm like, what is going on here? I'm scared.
It's where I started everything, okay? It's where my journey began. It's where I accidentally read smutty fanfics while sitting in public, like, restaurant with my parents on my phone and just being like, oh, that's what that is. Okay. I just have to pretend like nothing is wrong. The straightest face possible.
I did not have a smartphone for my entire childhood. I didn't get one until college, I don't think. Gosh, it must not even been at the beginning of college. Yeah, I bought my own smartphone after my first year because what I was doing my freshman year of college was sitting in the common room of the dorm reading fanfiction on AO3 on my motherfucking Nintendo DS.
Oh my god. You're iconic. Y'all don't realize I am Raye's biggest fan. They're such a vibe. That is truly indescribable.
Thank you.
I love you, man.
Aw, man. Bro, I love you too. Mwah.
Aw, for me?
Okay, where the fuck are we?
I don't know anymore. We started flirting.
We got very distracted, thinking about old man yaoi.
I can't. Every time I think about, like, old man yaoi as a genre, I just can't. I crack up.
Okay, so Amos is letting Carter know that, yeah, Desjardins, he's, like, chill. I think I was really getting through to him, and was...
Vindication.
Carter says that sounded about as likely as Apophis and Ra becoming Facebook buddies. Very funny.
You don't know. You don't know what they've done.
Yeah.
You don't understand the vision that I have.
Truly.
Carter's homophobic. Confirmed. Okay, this is when Amos shows the holograph, is what he says, of Ra. Yeah, he like conjures an image of Ra in his, magic, which is weird because it's red and that's chaos, but it's Ra.
Hey, Amos, you're a little sus with your red chaos magic, and yet it is not his fault.
It's not his fault.
I'm very, very curious about what Rick is planning to do with this, if anything. So, yes, he's saying, hey, it's possible that Ra doesn't want to be awakened, and you should probably think about what that would mean for your quest.
Want to analyze what Ra looks like here in this image, though?
Oh,
because Carter compares him to Horus in they're both falcon-headed and they're both kings, but wait, Ra's wearing the sun disk as his crown. He's got the crook and the flail.
Mm-hmm.
Are specifically symbols of the pharaoh. Horus doesn't have that, at least not in these books.
Okay.
And he's got robes instead of armor because he's not a fighter in the same way.
A warrior king the way that Horus is. He's a delegator. It does say he's sitting calmly and regally. He's happy to let others take care of things for him. Very interesting. I straight up didn't think about it. I probably skimmed that paragraph. But I like that you've pointed it out.
Yeah. I get what Carter's going for, where it's oh yeah, he's happy to watch others do the fighting. And I'm just okay, he's a king. Kings delegate.
But there is, especially in the olden days of, I straight up do not know if this is true, or if this is an impression that I've gotten from media, fantasy media and shit. But there is an impression that I have that, in, Roman times and whatnot, that the king would be on the front lines because he can't tell his soldiers to do something that he wouldn't be willing to do himself. They won't believe in him if he isn't able to, put his money where his fucking mouth is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the difference here is that, usually when Ra is doing that delegation, he is in fact dead, and the other gods are fighting for him because of that. So it's he's a Jesus figure. He's the god who will die for you. I don't know. I just have like complex feelings about like the leadership of Raw.
Yes.
Like I get what you mean. Horus is willing to like lay down his life in the way that like, you know, like you're saying, like Roman leaders and such will do. But I don't know. There's something else there with like Raw's type of leadership that's like I'm trying to like I can't formulate what I'm trying to say.
We have talked in the last book, we were talking a bit about different leadership styles and like pragmatism and utilitarianism versus, you know, more personal feelings, you know, whether it is just for Ra to make Bast fight against Apophis and be trapped for an eternity the way that he did, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, presumably he was making the best choice for everyone that he could. That's what you would hope for that sort of king to be doing. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't, you know, feel bad to, you know, have sort of betray someone who trusted you.
Yeah. I am also just always still negative about Horus's form of kingship, where it's just like, obey me, or you're like, you're on the other side, you know? And I'll fight you. That's kind of the vibe that
we
Horus
haven't
always
really
gives off.
gotten much into Horus as a leader. We've gotten to know him as a person and as a warrior, but I don't feel like I know his leadership style yet.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like we only know it from like that one moment of like how he in the Red Pyramid when he's telling Carter like you have to be on the side of like Ma'at, otherwise you're on the side of chaos.
Yes. The impression has been that the gods, Horus and Isis at least, are like very black and white.
Yeah. I think that's the one drawback of this series is that I'm not always a fan of the black and white thinking. Like I like it when they also acknowledge the shades of gray, you know? When there's a bit of both types of thinking in the same thing. All right. Their conversation is cut short because Amos's class comes in.
Yeah, he's busy now.
Yeah. Oh well. Bye. I'll see you after lunch maybe. Or not, because I gotta go to London and save Sadie.
Yeah. We even get the foreshadowing. He had a feeling that they would never get to finish that conversation. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Oh, there is also something here about like how the scrolls, you know, might be really difficult to find. What if Ra doesn't want to be awakened?
Right.
You know? Like, I guess there's something in that of like, maybe he prefers the delegation of letting everyone else deal with his problems instead.
Yeah, we've been getting kind of that impression that, you know, they don't talk about how he was ousted. They talk about him as being retired. Like, presumably, if we're using that sort of language, that means that he would want to be done, and forcing him back could not work out the way we want it to.
Yeah, exactly. So Carter goes back to his room where
he's got a roomie now.
He's got a roommate. Khufu and him are bros. I think Khufu was just like, yeah, I need to be the older brother figure to you because you're really shit at basketball. So he decided, I live on your couch now.
Khufu loves these silly children, actually. And he's like, I'm worried about Carter. He needs somebody to look after him. So
yeah. What a good guy.
Also, now there are a bunch of trainees in his usual spot, so...
Yeah, exactly. He can't watch TV. But Carter probably doesn't matter, because he's watching basketball, so, like, who cares? You know?
Yeah. So, for some privacy, Carter goes out to his balcony.
And he's like, oh my god, it's so cold outside. Felix's penguins would hate this.
It's also a little rainy, which seems like it would make scrying difficult. I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but if you have a family member who smokes, and they want to like hang out with you, they always want to go out in the worst fucking weather because they have to have a smoke. And it's the worst. Like, that's my least favorite thing is when they're like, hey, come outside on the balcony with me. And I'm like, it's like 20 fucking degrees. I don't want to.
I very happily cannot relate to this. Sorry. I'm so sorry for your family member. Yeah, I'm very glad that none of my family members smoke. I cannot handle any of that. So
yeah, it's just like the person who is smoking does not seem to notice the weather.
I forgot what was happening.
Carter is taking a smoke break, but not really. It's just the energy that I got from the scene. I don't know why.
Carter just needs a minute alone, and he's like, shit, it's cold. It's wet. I don't like this.
He's just out there having depression in the cold-ass weather. Oh, you
He's
know
emo.
what's really important about this scene is motherfucking Blackjack cameo.
Yes! Okay, so first Carter is just like, oh my god, I need a minute alone because whenever I'm here, I feel like everyone looks up to me and I have to, like, you know, put on a show for them. It sucks. Don't like it. And then he's like, hey, look, Manhattan. Remember that time that Amos said they have other gods and other problems? And, like, we didn't, you know, analyze that or think about that in any other way.
Yeah.
He specifically forgets the had other gods part. He's just like, yeah, Manhattan has other problems. Don't worry about it. He's like, yeah, I saw a flying horse once. Maybe that's just like the mansion's magic barriers causing optical illusions. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Occam's razor, bro. Like, why wouldn't there be a magic horse out there?
You have a griffin. You can't say that the magic horse is fake.
Very funny that he has never asked any follow-up questions about this.
Who is he, Steven Universe? Seriously. Alright, he's got his, he does say it looks like a bird bath. Okay. It's a bronze saucer on a stone pedestal. Walt made it for him.
Thanks, Walt.
Aww.
You're the best.
Very shortly after he arrived. That's wild. Walt, what a guy.
What a guy.
Love him. He's like an expert with enchantments, and like he made the scrying bowl an equivalent to a Cadillac, I guess. That's what Carter says.
Yeah, Walt is just the fucking best. He made the best scrying bowl.
Yeah, and like I guess maybe if Carter tried it anywhere else, he wouldn't be good at it. But this is just the greatest scrying bowl of all time. You know. He can't look for Zia in it, though. And, you know...
Yeah. He doesn't say that he tries to do any divination, just looking for things that he's familiar with around the world.
Yeah, I feel like that means that their type of scrying is, like, the same way that Annabeth does it, actually.
Mm-hmm. With her cool shield.
Yeah, exactly. The shield that she has that, like, mirrors so they can see the Titan army. It's the same vibe, very much. He cannot find the place of the red sand. Which is interesting.
Yes.
Like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I've never been there, but...
There's probably red and sand.
Exactly. Maybe you wouldn't be able to tell what it looks like anyway. Like, even if you tried.
Mm-hmm.
So, he can't see what he wants.
No,
and then
Zia.
he goes to see Zia's secret room. Is this invasion of privacy? Is this like seeing someone's diary?
He was in there before, so I think it's fine.
I mean, he was intruding before.
But she wasn't like mad. She like told him about her parents and stuff.
That also wasn't Zia.
Yes, that is true. But at this point, it's too late for that. Like,
so it's like Zia's dead twin sister showed him her diary, and then he just like picks it up again.
Carter is just hoping against hope that Zia's dead twin sister had twin telepathy and that they were in fact sort of the same person.
Yep,
Yeah, he says here that he had to believe that they were sharing thoughts, because he can't let Zia be dead.
Mm-hmm. And then, okay, Rick does explain, like, the whole Zia situation for a whole page.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not one of his strongest explaining what happened in the last book in the shortest amount of time moments.
Nothing wrong with it. It's just some exposition, but we have praised how smooth some of the exposition was before, and this is, not that
it's slightly
exactly.
Clunkier. Yeah, so Carter's just looking at, like, baby Zia riding her dad's shoulders, like, poor guy, poor girl. And he's thinking about how Apophis basically admitted to destroying Zia's village.
Right, which is not the story that we had before.
Mm-hmm. We just knew it was some creature was, like, released when they, like, dug something up. So maybe it was a part of Apophis.
Perhaps.
Mm.
But yeah, that was years ago. I think they say 6 here.
Yeah.
And it's like, how long have these plans been going? Like, what exactly is happening here?
Hey, how many years ago was it that, like, shit happened to Carter and Sadie's parents?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see.
6 years?
I had been thinking that it was longer than that because, I guess Sadie still would have been quite young, even if it was only 6 years ago. You know,
Yeah,
because she doesn't
she's-
have the best memories of her parents.
Yeah, because it was half her life that she lived in London.
Right, right.
So that's how I remember it, is that literally smack dab in the middle of her life.
I see. So it was their fault.
Unclear.
I don't know if that's true, but it could be,
I
and that
don't
would be
know.
very upsetting.
My brain just realized, oh, that's like the same amount of time.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yep, that's definitely relevant.
When Bast was released, so there's something to that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So, last book, Sadie had to make the decision to choose between her dad and the world, and she chose the world. And we talked about that a little bit. Here, Carter is like, if it comes to a choice between the Book of Ra and Zia, like, I am not fucking losing Zia. And I think that that is very interesting, and I wonder where that's going to be going for the rest of this story.
Listen, this is how you show that your two main characters are different. All right, we're doing it. And Walt walks into the room because Khufu just loves Walt like so much that he just
it's because
like,
he's better
lets
at
him
basketball than Carter.
Listen, he is taller. So, does give him a little bit of a leg up. So, Carter, you know, tries to do some small talk like, oh, like, how are you feeling? Because of what happened earlier that day that Walt was present for with the snake.
Yes. and they made
Walt-
meaningful eye contact. Remember that? Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, And Walt's just like, what do you mean? Huh? What do you mean?
How are you feeling, Walt? Not good, it doesn't sound like.
Yeah, so he gets like real guarded for the rest of this conversation.
He you know, as soon as he realizes that Carter wasn't talking about whatever Walt thought he was talking about, he does relax a little bit. But yeah, he's definitely not saying something.
Yeah, they go over the Amos conversation and like how Apophis couldn't have done much to them in that moment.
Probably.
And then they talk again about Walt's interesting power.
Yes, that's very fascinating. It was instinctive, he says. And once again, reminds me a lot of the first book with our godling children, which makes me think that, like, I'm like, it's too obvious. Like, it's so obscured that I'm like, it's gotta be, like, something else.
I draw connections to something else here, but I cannot say, because that could be spoilery. So, I'm just gonna not.
Good. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Fascinating. There definitely is something quite interesting about the way that it's like manifesting, you know, like stuff disintegrating.
Yeah, and at first Walt's like, oh, I mean, I can sometimes activate and shut down magic items, but then I did it with the snake.
And that
And
seemed
was
weird.
So I don't know. And then they keep talking. And there's some like stuff that's not being said.
Yeah, Carter asks him directly. He's like, you were talking to Jazz about something. You seemed very secretive. You know, if there's something wrong, you can talk to me about it. And Walt is like, I can't do that.
Sometimes I wonder why I came here. Looks off at the horizon. You know?
Yeah, Carter's like, what? You're amazing. You made me this sick-ass birdbath. You have a future here. And Walt says, the timing, it's like a bad joke. Very, very interesting.
And then, like, Walt, like, he's about to say something about Sadie, and Carter's like, he misreads it. He's like, oh my god, if Sadie's coming on strong, I can talk to her. It's like, whoa there. Whoa.
Sadie in the narration is like, whoa there. Hey, don't talk about me like that. And he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Walt's like, no, I like her. Like, it's not about that. And then Khufu.
And then they get interrupted.
Khufu interrupts because he sees something in the scrying bowl. And Carter had turned it back to, or he turned it to London.
Yes,
He was
we
thinking
didn't
about
mention
Sadie.
this when it happened. It's very funny. Like I said, it's like he just switched from like a porn tab. Like he was like stalking his ex on Facebook and he had to like close it so that no one would know.
Literally.
Like when Walt walked in, he changed it from Zia's secret room over to his grandparents' place. And he's like, oh, I was just checking it was working, and like looks at it, and he's like, it's fine. And, you know, as someone who read the other chapter where like shit went down with Sadie, you're like, oh my god, please! So yes, and then it happens here.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh wait, the lights are off, the sofa's tipped over.
Very funny that Carter did not notice that something was wrong with the picture, but Khufu did, who has never been there.
And then suddenly the front door was smashed to pieces, it seems.
Dun dun dun.
So he tries to, like, find Sadie specifically instead of just the apartment, and that's when it blows up.
Oh, okay. So it's not just that he was looking at it and, like, something happened or whatever. He specifically was searching for Sadie. Very interesting.
Yep. Well, it's gonna have to make a new thing for him.
Yeah, because Khufu throws it over the rails.
You know, it's a good reaction. That was on fire. Not great.
We're just tossing this burning oil onto the street. Don't worry about it.
And none of them know what the fuck's going on. They're like, that's weird. We gotta go see Sadie, but they can't use their portal. They have to go to the museum.
Yeah.
With the griffin.
Woo!
So, bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how that shit ends. My dude. Do you have a plug for us?
I do. I've been
Ooh,
messing with wplace.live. It is a website. If you haven't heard about this, you might be familiar with Our Place. I believe it's an April Fool's thing that Reddit has done a couple of times, where they have a canvas and you can adjust the pixels on it as a community. Like, anyone can go and, like, change a pixel. And then, you know, people are collaborating to draw pictures or, you know, covering up other people's stuff and, like, having, like, community wars and things like that. So WPlace is a version of that is much bigger because the canvas is made of the entire planet. And so there are certain places that are really full of art, like larger cities. You check New York or Chicago or whatever, and there is like a ton of shit there. You go out into like the middle of nowhere, America, and there is fucking nothing. It's very funny. So
I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna see if there's anything where I'm currently existing. Oh,
there is a shit ton of Deltarune art. I don't know what's going on with that. It's very funny. I think it's a combination of Deltarune having updated recently and also being very easy to recreate as pixel art, you know?
I am very confused at the fact that there's nothing specifically in Chicago itself. Unless this is just not loading.
It might just not be loading. They have had so many server problems recently.
Okay, that could just be it. Because I'm like, what? That's not right.
So I've been, you know, drawing like a little Batman symbol and stuff like that, making my own little pixel arts. And what I recently did was made a design for the Deus Ex Media logo, and I just started putting that up. I think that you start out with like a bank of 60 pixels and you refresh them every 30 seconds. So like after half an hour, you will have a full bank of pixels again, and the more that you place, the more you level up, and then you can have a like bigger bank of pixels. And so, you know, you can do quite a bit of drawing with it, but like it takes a while to make anything big.
You're gonna need to like take a picture of like the DXM logo that you make and like
yes, I'm definitely going to. I was just thinking about, you know, putting something in the server.
You absolutely should.
Anyways, so that's very fun. I think it's only been up for like a week as of this recording. It's going to be quite a bit more than that by the time this goes out. So it'll be really interesting to see how much it's grown, you know, the amount of art by the time that this episode is up.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, that's all for me.
So my plug is, you know, the YouTubes. Always the YouTubes. But hey, you know, one of my old fave YouTubers has kind of become more active again.
Ooh. And
it's been so long since, like, he used to make these very short, very silly gay videos. My boy, MilesChronicles on YouTube. This is what I grew up with, is this guy. Pre-transition, actually, for him. Mm-hmm. So, like, he's since, like, removed the videos that I actually found him on. Oh. But forever ago, he used to do like some fandom content and stuff. And I remember like watching some of his videos where he talked about Doctor Who or something. And then he started like talking about gay shit around the time I figured out some gay shit.
Nice.
And he started talking about some trans shit around the time I figured out some trans shit. So it's very interesting how that worked out. And listen, he's just hilarious. I was even watching some of his like older videos today. He has some pre-transition ones up still, and some of those still very funny.
Nice.
But like I think today he like, or maybe it was yesterday. Either way, there was a very recent video where like he released another one, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this it feels like you're starting to go back to form, because he's been releasing like in the past a few weeks, like consistently, and like the same, you know, general format of like, what if I just like look up some gay shit on the internet, you know?
As you do.
As one does. Some of these were like Q&As as well. The one today was like, he was looking up gay merch on Amazon, I think, or something. I ended up sending one of them to Robert, because it was like gay machinist things, and that's what Robert does for their day job. And like Miles just went like, oh my god, why are there so many shirts that are about gay machinists? This is weird. What's going on? They even did one recently asking the Bible gay questions, where they just like they do a lot of funny religion things, because, you know, when you have religious trauma, you make fun of some religion.
Yep.
But he was like, okay, you guys ask me some questions, and then I will flip to a random page, put my finger on it on the Bible, and let's see. And it was hilarious. It was, yeah. So I just him. Also gender envy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Did you say what the channel was? Because I don't remember.
MilesChronicles.
Okay, you did. And I just wasn't paying enough attention. Okay, good.
When my hair grows out, I end up trying to do it the way he does it.
Very nice.
That's how you know that I have the gender envy. So, yeah, gay shit. As one does.
As one does. Okay, you should release us from this mortal coil then.
I suppose that I will get the fuck out of my house. You know, I just blew up your little scrying bowl. You need to like, yeah, your poor little scrying bowl. Khufu threw it out the window. You need to go and save Sadie, okay? Some shit is going down in London. You need to go. We need to go.
My sister.
Let's go get the griffin, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Then. Bye!
Bye! Of the Eldest Gods would like to thank its $10 and up patrons. This means you're either in the Savior of Olympus tier or the God Complex tier on our Patreon, patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. Thank you all so much for your support, especially Matt, our God Complex patron.
You can follow this podcast's socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send us a message through the Duat to oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about the Riordanverse or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology, no promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. If you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast's Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with the meme maker Robert called The Bits, where we talk about the Cartoon Network show Steven Universe. I also co-host a non-network podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo. Our music was created and produced by Isabel Strauss-Riggs. You can find Isabel at Kane I, that's I is in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane Eye. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing the Kane Chronicles. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Do you love to be super scared? Do you enjoy listening to hilarious hot takes on timeless classics? Well, fear not, listeners. I'm here! Welcome to the Super Scary Podcast, where we cover everything from the supernatural to the superpowered. I'm your host, Josh, a scaredy cat nerd who enjoys superhero, sci-fi, and horror movies way too much. Whether I'm processing my trauma from Texas Chainsaw Massacre or reminiscing on the nostalgia of Hocus Pocus, my guests and I have a hilarious time going through our favorite and sometimes not so favorite moments. I'm your friend till the end, listeners, because everyone's entitled to one super scary podcast. We post weekly episodes on Mondays, and you can find us at Super Scary Podcast on all the socials. See you in the afterlife, listeners.
There were really loud sounds here that sounded like fireworks, and I really hope it wasn't gunshots.
Bro,
It's probably fine.
Don't make me worried about you live on the pod. Actually,
It's definitely fine. Also, I'm in my house, and it was far away-ish.
you're not helping.
Dave X Media.